Footballers Sunday Live.
Welcome in, everybody. It is Sunday Live. It's me, Mike the Fantasy Hitman Wright, joining you for Sunday Live today. I've got two best friends today. Normally, you can only have one best friend. That's why it's the word best. I've been working on grammar with my son, and this is breaking the rules because you can't have two bests. There's only one best. But today there's two best friends, Al and Papa Josh. Papa Josh is in here trying to learn how to do stuff. Trying to teach an old dog new tricks.
That's right.
Really, really old. Like verge of the end. Welcome in, everybody. It's a big week. We got a lot of action going on. I hope that team No Dome is really happy with themselves. I'm happy with the decisions, and happy with the decisions that they have to make due to all of the weather games that are going on. It's really, this week's not fair. When you give us this amount of bye weeks at this point in the season, week 13, and then you give us 3 rain games. It is not fair, but here we are. We're going to try and make some tough decisions. Thank you for joining me for Sunday Live. Please head over to thefantasyfootballers.com. You can do that while you're watching, or you can do that afterwards. That's where our rankings are right now. Those are updated all the way until kickoff. We have a start-sit tool on there as well, Player X versus Player Y. Give you a bunch of information about that, including how we are ranking it, so we can hopefully help you make the best decision that you can make for your lineup, whatever it is that your team needs today. And, of course, I can't talk about every single player. The way that this show works, we break down the news. Then we take a look. That start-sit tool, well, we gather the information that seems to be the really important trending decisions, because there's always a few of the week, so we will talk about that. Then I will jump into the questions from the people. But for now, into the news.
The big picture.
What Steve said, I thought Papa Josh was a traitor, or Papa John. He is definitely not Papa John. I will tell you that much. Yeah, he is not Papa John. But anyways, here we go. From Cleveland Browns news, Dorian Thompson-Robinson will be out. Joe Flacco, from the couch to starting for the Cleveland Browns. We will see how that goes. Whispers from – they weren't whispers. They were yelling from Browns camp saying Joe Flacco's arm is still good. He throws a lot. He gets the ball out pretty quick. So things could actually be okay for Cleveland pass catchers, to be determined. Devon Achane is back, baby. Is he back for real this time? Who knows? Am I playing him? You're darn right I am. Look, because you don't sit that down on the bench, me personally. Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook will be playing. Yeah, they're going to be playing, and they're going to be playing in the rain against the Falcons. Yeah, we'll see. Zeke will be playing. Travis Etienne is expected to play. He is a Monday night game. We've mentioned it on the show during the week. Please, if you have Travis Etienne, you need to have Dearness Johnson on your bench just in case. And honestly, that's just an educated guess at this point. He has been the one, Dearness, who's been getting the backup work. Tank Bigsby, their rookie, seems like it is not working out for him as of just yet. So Dearness would be my preferred play. Aaron Jones will be out. A.J. Dillon is in, and he's in my lineup. I hope he's not in yours, but here we go. No. I mean, he's just a villain at this point now for destroying my lineup. Every time I have to count on A.J. Dillon, he just did it. It's a Packer problem for me, honestly, because I've had Romeo Doubs and A.J. Dillon, and every time I'm like, I got to count on him now. They're like, but we're going to take this game off. And then as soon as I go back to the bench, then they remember how to play football. Good times. Jerick McKinnon will be out for the Kansas City Chiefs. Clyde will get a couple snaps. That's the most I can say about that. Keenan Allen is going to play. The Texans have gotten healthy. The chat really wants my hoodie strings. Oh, yeah. I can understand that. I get it. I get it, Chad. I apologize. That's on me. I didn't look at myself in the mirror. Really important stuff here on this fantasy football show. Tank Dell and Noah Brown will be playing for the Texans. Chris Olave has passed concussion protocol. Apparently, he is going to play. If I have Olave, I'm not concerned about. Well, I mean, I'm concerned for the person of another concussion, but re-injury like that, you're not expecting a decline in fantasy output. So if I was going to play Chris Olave, I would be playing Chris Olave. T. Higgins is going to play on Monday night with a backup quarterback. I hope you don't have to do that. The wide receiver, too, for the backup. No, I don't really like it. Deontay Johnson will be playing. Hollywood Brown is in. Michael Wilson is out, so guess Greg Dortch is up again. Demario Douglas will be out for the Patriots. Devontae Parker, sort of a sneaky play. The matchup is there, but there will be rain in New England. That will be the theme of today's live stream, talking about rain. Chris Godwin is expected to play. Okay. Jaden Reed is questionable for tonight's game with that chest injury. He was that last week, and then he massively whiffed on run protection, and then he got a touchdown on the next play. It was a funny sequence of events. Treylon Burks is out, and I guess maybe that's why Kyle Phillips is out for the Titans, but that's how it's going to go. Trey McBride will be playing for the Arizona Cardinals. Guess what? In the rain. Dalton Schultz will be out. So if you hate yourself, you can play Brevin Jordan. Dallas Goedert is still marked as doubtful. Can't expect that he's going to play. And here we go. Rain. Rain, go away. Come again some other day. Chargers and Patriots. Rain expected. Falcons at Jets. Rain expected. Cardinals at Steelers. Chance of rain and high winds. Trying my best to do my, a meteorologist impression. It seemed like the New England game is the one that's at most at risk. The Jets game looks like it's going to be – wait, I said Burks was out? No, I said Burks was in, and that's why I think Kyle Phillips is out. Andy, get out of my live stream, bro. The Jets game, that one looks like it's going to be pretty wet. It seems like the Arizona game will be more rainy during the second half. But, again, we shall see, because giving advice on rain games it's nearly impossible. It does factor into my decision if it's going to be raining pretty heavy the whole entire time. But then you have games like, last week, Buffalo versus Philadelphia. For the whole first half, the rain looked like it was a really big problem. We were going to have a disaster, a fantasy disaster for everybody involved in that game. And then the second half, they scored 2 games worth of points in just one half. So, take that as you will. But that is it. So, Jeremy, has the computer been fired up? Here we go.
He's so hot right now.
Like I said, the start-sit tool on thefantasyfootballers.com. It's taking a look at people who are really trending. So who is hot right now?
All right, Mike, we're going to start at the wide receiver position today. There's 2 guys that are standing out, and so we'll put them head-to-head to start out. Chris Olave or Puka Nacua?
Okay, so Chris Olave gets the plus matchup with the Detroit Lions. Puka Nacua gets the downgrade against the Cleveland Browns, although the Cleveland Browns are a little bit banged up. So both Puka and Cooper Kupp, they are incredibly tough start-sit decisions this week. I currently have them ranked both on the fringe of being top 20 options. So that's still good. That's still, you're playing both of them. There might be a chance that you have players that you are willing to put in ahead of them. To compound things, last week, Matthew Stafford and Kyron Williams, but Matthew Stafford played really well. It just happened that the real points went to Tyler Higbee. He caught both of the touchdowns. The wide receivers were not as involved as we normally see them, but it wasn't bad quarterback play. It was just, I don't know, the way that the ball bounced, and Kyron was just so involved that he took, like half of the Rams' offense, it seemed like. As of right now, I would play Olave over Puka. It's not by a wide margin. That is not like a full confidence get Puka on the bench for Chris Olave. But if I had them both, Olave had 100 yards by halftime. The dude was really, really balling out, and then a bad pass by Derek Carr sent him out of the game. But I lean that I would go with Chris Olave. Who's up next?
All right, let's hang out on Chris Olave for a second. Chris Olave or Tank Dell?
All right, so another injury versus injury. Now, Tank Dell has the much higher probability of a re-aggravation, and yet Tank Dell is on like superstar fire right now. This guy has been playing incredibly well. I think it was like 5 for 50 and a touchdown last week, if I remember right, but multiple plays that were just like ticky-tack things, and they called him on an illegal motion, and it would have been another massive catch. And yet, the Denver Broncos are playing much, much better. What's going to happen with Surtain? Who's he going to shut down? So between the two, Tank Dell definitely has the higher risk, has higher re-injury risk, and the matchup is tougher. But I'd play Tank Dell. I don't know how you sit Tank Dell down at this point. The guy's this isn't fluky anymore. This is a player who has proved himself over this over the better part of his rookie season. So I'm going to go Tank Dell. Who's next?
All right, one more question for Chris Olave. Josh Downs or Olave?
Okay, so Josh Downs seems like he's just kind of a permanent injury risk with the injury he sustained early, I guess, in the training camp season or so, and he's had to kind of play through it. He's playing the Tennessee Titans. I would go Olave. I would play Olave over Josh Downs. Josh Downs is a fine PPR play, but I'm trying to get some upside mixed in there as well. Not that Josh Downs doesn't have a broken play here or there throughout the season, but I'm going to take Chris Olave. And part of the Olave decision is like Rashid Shaheed will also be out. Like Olave is it. Derek Carr can't go to Shaheed. On those taking those shots down the field, he doesn't get the option of Shaheed. So I'm going to put Olave out there. The Lions, maybe they bounce back, but their secondary is in some trouble as of right now. Who's next?
All right, we're going to move to the running back position. Can you guess who the number one?
I'm going to go Devon Achane.
You got it. All right.
Oh my gosh.
We'll start here with in the same game on the same team. Raheem Mostert or Devon Achane?
Oh, Mostert.
Okay.
Yeah, that one, and that could be wrong. I mean, we've really seen Achane play twice, and both times were awesome. But Raheem Mostert's still the leader of the room, so I would play the starter against Washington. That with home runs, that could end up being wrong, absolutely. But if how do people have both these guys? But if I had both of them, honest, I would play Mostert over Achane.
All right, that was the number one question asked on our website.
Okay, well, that's good because I feel pretty confident in that one. I'll go Mostert.
All right, sticking on Devon Achane, Breece Hall or Achane?
Dude, okay. So I don't think it is popular opinion, but I have Achane ranked above Breece Hall. The weather. So I'll lay something out. So my personal decision that I don't know how to play it because I am concerned very much about the Jets, the weather of the Jets game, compounded by that it is Tim Boyle, who in a dome will be a bad player for the NFL. Give him adversity like a really bad weather game. It could be an absolute disaster. But the decision that I'm looking at is Garrett Wilson or Romeo Doubs. Like Doubs in a negative matchup, not nearly as good of a wide receiver as Garrett Wilson is, and yet I am strongly considering that. I have Garrett Wilson in right now. That's probably how it's going to end up, but it's one of those things of I don't know what the right play is there. Again, giving advice on weather is so difficult. But the point being, it would take it's like if Breece Hall succeeds today, I think it's a broken play. He's talented. He's electric. He's very athletic. He can hit on big plays. But I think it would take a broken play today against the Falcons for that to work out. He's been, not all his fault, but he's been pretty bad on the ground, getting it done in the receiving game. But what happens if the receiving game is kind of shut down by the elements? So I have big concerns about Breece Hall, and not that Achane shouldn't come with his own concerns here, as he Simpsoned into the game and went right back out. Is he ready to go this time? I don't know, but I'd play Achane. The matchup is so plus against the Washington Manders. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Achane. That's a super sketchy question. But who's next?
Just a quick update that just came through. I don't know how relevant it is, but Jaden Reed is trending towards playing.
Jaden Reed.
Yep.
Yeah, we figured.
Okay. It just came across the wire, and I just thought I'd mention. I know you mentioned him in the big picture.
Yeah, we reported him as questionable.
Okay.
But seems like a tough guy and just has a hurt chest right now.
All right. A guy that's back-to-back in your rankings with Achane, Devin Singletary. Which one of those guys are you starting?
Oh, man. Achane.
All right.
Achane. The Denver matchup has gotten more difficult. I'm just laying out my process of how I can convince myself to play Achane. Number one, I watched him play football twice. It was amazing. It's hard to get that out of your head. But we're only 1 week back into Devin Singletary, Dameon Pierce split. I think that there is definitely a possibility that Dameon Pierce works in a bit more this week. Devin Singletary's been great for them, so that's definitely not a guarantee. There is a chance that Singletary has just taken that job away from Dameon Pierce. But, game of probability, trying to weigh all the factors of what could go right, what could go wrong. And I think that Achane is worth the risk.
All right, let's move over to the tight end position. There's 3 players that are trending quite a bit, so I'm just going to ask you to rank those 3 players.
All right.
It's the Muth, Pat Fryermuth.
Okay.
Trey McBride, and Taysom Hill.
So, Taysom Hill, as of the last couple of weeks, all those snaps that he was getting have now vanished. I don't know if that's the return of Juwan Johnson, but you look at him, when he had that month of just dominance, 60% of the snaps, 58, 44, 46, and then the past 2 weeks, we're back down to 30 and 35% of the snaps. And how many opportunities did we get? We had 2 targets, 7 attempts. Taysom Hill is a trustworthy player if you know that he's going to get in the mid-40s. He could still tank in the mid-40s, but you need a bunch of opportunities for him, and if he's not on the field, he cannot get those opportunities. So, unfortunately, you have to kind of downgrade him until you see that a more consistent usage. But it seems like this is what they want. With all the players out, maybe Taysom Hill is out there even more. Then you have Trey McBride, limited throughout the week because of the groin injury, going into sloppy conditions against Pittsburgh. That is concerning, to have an already tenderized groin area into a field that might be mucky. That sounds like an elevated risk of re-aggravating your injury. I can't put percentages on that. Just having been around football for so long, when guys going into a game like that, there is concern. But McBride is great. Ertz is gone forever now for the Arizona Cardinals. And who was the other one? The Muth?
Yes.
The Muth also playing in potentially mucky situation because he's on the other side of the field and it's his home field. Oh, gosh, freaking rain games. If I have to rank them, I'm going to go McBride, Muth, Taysom Hill. The breakout game there for Pat Fryermuth, that was incredibly fun, and it came out later that that was their game plan. They essentially I believe it was Muth talking to reporters saying they're going to try and target him in the middle of the field, and if it's there, and then it was there right away, so they just it became something they were going to go to often. Yeah, that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to go Trey McBride, Muth, Taysom Hill. Oh, man, that's a tough one.
All right, real quick at the quarterback position, Arizona's own Kyler Murray is being asked about. Kyler or Sam Howell?
Oh, gosh. I'm going to take Sam Howell. Sam Howell, all he's doing is putting up good numbers. I mean, they haven't been – I don't think they've been great over the past – great as in, like, he's not a top 5 guy, but 10, QB 10, 4, 10, 1. I mean, the guy – it feels like his floor at this point is QB 10 because he's going to throw the ball so many times. Expect another 40-plus pass attempts against the Miami Dolphins. I'm going to take Sam Howell here. I'm going to take Sam Howell. Kyler has the rushing ability, of course, but mucky-muck situations, good defense. Kyler not playing very well. I'm just going to stick with Sam Howell, who is, by the way, the quarterback 4 on the season. QB, he hasn't had his bye week, so he's kind of cheating a little bit. But thank you. But I'm gonna go with Sam Howell and I'm gonna take his floor.
All right, last one: Kyler Murray or Russell Wilson?
I'm gonna go with Russ. I'm gonna go playing better against Houston, shootout potential. That's another thing that when I'm trying to tie break. I can't remember who it was. I talked about one last week, and then that one hit like into a massive shootout, and it was fantastic. Russ, the Broncos and the Houston game. Even though the Denver defense is playing better, Stroud is playing fantastic. There's a chance that this one we hit the over. I think there's a very good chance for it. I'm gonna go with Russ. I'm gonna avoid Arizona there if possible. Trey McBride's kind of harder to avoid because there's not a ton of great tight ends, but the other pieces there, I don't know, kind of freaks me out. Is that it?
That's it, Mike. Let's
All
get
right,
to the people.
To the people.
Stardom, set 'em.
All right, we went a little bit longer with the other two sections, so we're kind of up against the clock, but I'm going to rapid fire off as much as I possibly can, unless, of course, I have to give some explanation. Matt says Achane or Jalen Warren in a PPR. If you want to go Devon Achane right there, that does not bother me in the slightest. I would play Jalen Warren. Stupid weather. I'd play Jalen Warren against Arizona. Next question. Andrew says Derek Carr or Kyler Murray. I'm not playing Derek Carr. That's just I just have a strong moral conviction. I'm not playing Derek Carr. That guy, oh gosh, I hate that guy. All right, Andy is giving us an update. He says the Jets field on TV looks fine right now. Okay, well that's great. We don't have rain just yet. Again, weather. Watch it not rain at all. We're all getting ready for all these rainstorms, and watch it not rain at all. Impossible to. I can tell you where it's not raining, in the domes. Next question. Sam Howell or Brock Purdy? I'm going to take Brock Purdy in that one. That was from Oscar. James says Jahan Dotson or Elijah Moore in PPR. You going to go for that sweet Joe Flacco, Elijah Moore connection? See if they can bring that back? Move that from the New York Jets down to the Cleveland Browns? That could be a good time. It could be sneaky. Like, I'm not it sounds like I'm making a sarcastic voice, but I'm serious. Like, wilder things have happened, and the way that Joe Flacco plays quarterback with the way that Elijah Moore plays wide receiver, it would not surprise me to see, a good 8 targets for him. And Jahan Dotson's been so up and down. Sure, I'm fine playing Elijah Moore this week. Chase the Joe Flacco narrative. Next question is Zachary says, y'all starting Jamar Chase this week? Yeah. Not feeling great about it, but we are doing it. Time to eat? Time to Pete? I don't know. Hope I'm not saying something dirty. T. Higgins or A.J. Dillon? Oh, A.J. Dillon. It's A.J. Dillon, and then just turn it off and walk away. Don't think about it ever again. Next question is from Clay. Romeo Doubs or T. Higgins in a PPR? I'm playing Romeo Doubs. I know the matchup stinks, but T. Higgins kind of stinks too. He's not fun to play. Next question we have from Mike. Says the Dortch or Tutu Atwell. That one's interesting. I'm gonna take the Dortch. Weather again, but Dortch should get some short area targets, and I'm going that way. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Dortch. The guy, he's a weird player because he produces for him every time he plays, and then they say we don't want you to play anymore. I don't know what's going on there. Ishmael says Najee or Stevenson. So Ramondre Stevenson, I would go. Both are rain games. Ramondre's been great. I'm going Najee. That's very close. I have them back-to-back in my rankings. We're up against the clock here. Trey McBride or David Njoku. I would play I don't know what Joe Flacco's going to do with Njoku. I'm going to go Trey McBride there. Trey McBride, and just really hope that groin holds up. That's the thing people say, right?
That tenderized groin.
Hey. Next question. We got Kyler or Herbert in a 6-point format. I think that it's Justin Herbert. He has Keenan Allen, so he's fighting against the rain. Spoiler. Here we go. I told you. I'm going to be talking about rain nonstop, and I hate it. I seriously hate it. Lance says Thielen ceiling game today. I think so. I don't know about a ceiling, but I had start of the week for Thielen. My confidence on that call has stayed the same. I think he really is going to have a bounce back. We got Joe says Collins or Ridley. Okay, so we got Nico Collins, Calvin Ridley. I am going to go I think I'm going to go Calvin Ridley in that one. Both these players on fire. One of them might be playing Patrick Surtain. Matt says, Mike, it's my birthday. Happy birthday, brother. Next question. Oh, man, we're way over time. Let me get Adrian says, Brian Robinson or Jerome Ford in a PPR. I lean Brian Robinson by a little bit. And then last question we will get out on this one. Tua or CJ Stroud from Big Mac. Let's just finish on a terribly hard question. I'm going to play Tua. He beats up on bad defenses. Sitting CJ Stroud at your own potential demise. I understand that. But I don't have this decision anywhere, and if I did, I would be playing Tua. So that's going to do it, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me for Sunday Live. We will see you tomorrow on the podcast. Wish you nothing but the best, and your enemies nothing but the worst. Hey, have a good one. Remember to keep it beautiful. I will see you tomorrow. Mwah! Goodbye.